I last made a lesson on this tune a couple of years back, but the picture quality is not great on that. So this is an attempt to improve on that, and also to coincide with the publication of Bert Transcribed Vol.2, which features this tune. Okay, so I'll go through this mainly on the talking about the left-hand chord shapes and various different ways of playing them, not just what's featured in the book. The right hand, by the way, is standard alternating bass. I assume you're going to be okay with this sort of thing. Okay, thumb going backwards and forwards to the bass notes, 1 or 2 fingers on the treble strings. Presumably you're okay with all that technique. So this is just about the interesting ways of playing the chords. In the book, it's how we think Bert played it, based on several things. Based firstly on Doug Kennedy's 1983 book of transcriptions, which he consulted on with Bert, and I presume Bert would have showed him fingerings. You can see a page from that here. And secondly, on the sound of the track, which generally confirms what's in that book. However, there are other ways of doing it, which I think are interesting to explore. So, to begin with the basic chord changes, which are really very simple. We're in the key of D, played as C with capo on 2. Okay, and the basic sequence of the first part is C to G to F and back to C. Then we get a G minor chord, and finally a G7 sus4 or C sus4. G7 sus4 I think is the best name for it. And I think we really do need Bert's shape for that one. The others, it's really up to you how you play this. Let me show you how you can get something close to it with the simple shapes down this end of the fretboard. Okay, so we've got the bass line there, normal C shape, melody on first string, going up to a G here, G over B bass, F with an A bass, open A bass, melody again on the first string, and then finishing with a C with the G bass. So that's pretty unmistakably the sequence to I Am Lonely. The G minor, that's a shape that I'm guessing you know for G minor here. Doesn't sound quite like Bert's, but you know, if you wanted to play that you could. Bert's shape is rather nice. Just the bottom 4 strings. G here, B flat here, open D, and a B flat on the 3rd string. He didn't finger it like this, but that's a nice easy way of fretting it. And then we go to this G7 sus4, G here again, F now on the 4th string, open G, and a C here on the 2nd string, just those 4 strings. Okay. The bridge goes somewhere a little different, and we'll need to look at that a bit later. Okay, so Bert shapes. First of all, he starts with this C, one of his favourite shapes for a C major chord. Middle 4 strings, and significantly there's 2 G's here in the middle. Okay, 4th string 5th fret and the open 3rd, giving you a nice kind of drone in the middle there. You could play the E as the open 1st string, but Bert tended to play it as the 5th fret here on the 2nd string. And of course, if you want, you can play both strings. Okay. Now, 2nd chord, the G over B goes up to here. B bass on the 6th string, keeping the 2 G's in the middle with the index finger this time on the 4th string, and the G up here on the 2nd string. going from then we come down to the F over A played like this. Okay. On the record, you, at least on some of the live versions, you hear the slide down here. You hear him taking the note down the fourth string to land here. Open A, F, C, another F on top, middle four strings again. That drops into this shape. Now he's got the bass here on the sixth string and just these four strings. So it's a C power chord, C5 with a G bass. And this D on the second string comes in towards the end of the chord. So it's a C sus2, strictly speaking. Now, he goes into the G minor like this, the third finger sliding down to here. So it's a bit of a stretchy chord, this one. Index here, middle finger on the G. And third finger on the third string. Then the next chord, the G7 sus4, these two fingers swap around. Index on the C, oops, index on the C, third finger crossing to the fourth string, middle finger still here. And then the third finger slides back up the fourth string to take you back to the C chord. So it all links together rather nicely. I'll just play the whole sequence for you there. Hear that on the G minor, this note comes in on the beginning of the bar, but when it changes, you get a beat or so time to get your index finger onto the second string there. You don't have that note doesn't happen straight away. Now, Pierre Lebras has a nice way of playing the first C chord, which you might like to try. He starts with the C bass up here on the sixth string, putting the G there on the fifth string, and then playing the E on the first string. So that works rather nicely, especially means you can drop into the G over B, like that. Okay, so that's rather a nice alternative way of getting it to sound pretty much exactly the same as the original and giving you a nice way into that G over B. As I say, it's not the way Bert played it according to Doug's book, but obviously it's up to you which you choose there. Okay, that's the A section, which runs through twice. Now for the bridge, that starts the same way. This time on the G over B chord, your third finger, which is not being used, what wasn't used in the first shape, goes onto the 7th fret of the first string. So you get this nice little high B here. Slightly weird looking shape, but that's what it is. Okay. Then the F over C this time becomes this shape. Third finger on the 6th string, middle on the 4th string. There's the F chord, C, A, C, A, F, F on the second string, another C on top, and the open third string to make the add 9. Okay. This time there's 2 bars on this chord, and this little C here comes from the second bar, so you don't need that straight away. So we're going from here to this. Again, bass first, okay. Yeah, this little one being picked out in the second bar. Back to the G over B. Again, bass first. 2 bars on that. Coming down. Again, down the same way, F, A minor this time. Now the A minor is a bit weird. Those same notes could be played here. Alright, but this one, even though it's a bit of a stretch, it makes sense coming down from the F here. And then we're back to the C5 over G, and so on as in the first section. Okay. Now there are a few other alternatives here. When you come down from the G to the F, there's a rather nice way of doing it where the bass comes down the 6th string all the way. Okay. Now that feels very logical, the sort of thing that you imagine Bert might have done himself. But it seems he didn't. It seems he went for the open A. It does make sense for getting into the A minor, of course, that way. Now for these 2 chords, that's, if you find that stretch awkward there, you can of course play it this way, but then it depends on how much of the distinctive little slides you want to keep and how you get those in there. So it would mean changing the fingering for this chord to that, 3rd and 4th fingers here, taking the little finger down into that, works very nicely. Likewise, this one's quite a comfortable shape, not using the middle finger at all here. But then if you want to get back to that note on the C chord, you want to get the 3rd finger back there. So something like this could work. Okay. Swapping the fingers over while you're playing that chord. Or you change the bass when the chords change, like this. Here's a G minor, moving into that. So from this 3rd finger here to that. As I say, it just depends on how much you want to retain that rather nice little slide up there. And so on. Okay. So I think that about covers it. Let me play the whole thing through. luck with that, and I'll see you on the next lesson from the book. Okay, good luck with that.